All right, it's time. Harmon could not make it to this episode, so we got a new guest weighing in at 102 pounds, at 2 foot 1 inch tall, Tucker Morrison. See, he can fit in the camera
Yeah.
because he's short.
So glad you could finally have me on.
How
Yeah.
are you, bro? Nah, don't handshake. We're formal. We're not formal.
Okay.
So, Tucker,
Jax.
first time on the episode. How you doing? I like the Christmas tree in your room. Good ambiance, you know.
Thank you. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really excited to show all our new fans the new Tucker.
Thank you. Me too.
All right. First order of business I thought to talk about is the Christmas tree. I mean, we haven't even passed, Thanksgiving yet. I know I'm one of those people who, as soon as Halloween is over, it's Christmas time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
My family's not like that, but I am, and I can see clearly you are. So, when you're, I know you guys can't see it, but he doesn't. Hold on. Let me show you this. His feet hang off the chair. Anyways. So, Tucker, whenever you're doing this for Halloween, does your family do this? Do they have the same mindset of right after Halloween, Christmas?
Yeah, pretty much. We wait about a week. It's not right after Halloween, but I think it was last week. Last weekend we set up our Christmas tree in our living room.
Okay, okay. So clearly, your family loves Christmas, you know. Do they listen to Christmas music all year round? I know some people do.
Not all year round. I'd say, pretty much the same time we have the Christmas tree up. I say a week about after October, and then a little bit after Christmas.
Okay, nice. I love Christmas music. In my opinion, it's the best kind of music. Drop the comments down below what your favorite type of music is. Mine is Christmas music. I think it's so great, you know?
Set the camera up a little bit higher. Oh. It was just right here of me, so.
Anyways, right. So, oh no, you see my legs. Ah.
It's fine.
But anyways. So, basically, right, so I started listening to music at September. September. Right end of summer, I am in the Christmas music.
Yeah, I agree, but you can't be multiple Christmas songs in a row. It has to be individual songs spread out throughout a playlist. If you're listening to just Christmas music in September, then not that.
Here's the thing. I do agree with that, and that's what I do. But when I get, when I get Ransom by Lil Tecca, and the next one I get is All I Want for Christmas Is You, I just think of, it's so off-putting,
Yeah.
because you'll be dancing, if you're alone in your room, you'll be dancing and all of that, and then all of a sudden it starts playing, you still dance, because what are you supposed to do? But it completely alters the mood,
Yeah, you have to go from upbeat, I Could Take Over the World to singing about your love of your life or something.
And the fact that that's okay, so the fact that that's something you can do in music is so great. This is no North Korea. I'm glad we're in America because we have so many different kinds of music.
Yeah.
It's not all Kim Jong-un makes everything,
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un 1v1 me in basketball. Actually. 1v1 me in basketball.
Jax was never heard from again.
I dare you. Oh, no. Thank you.
For eating all my Little Debbie Christmas cakes.
Beyonce.
Thank you, Beyonce.
Beyonce on top. Anyways. So, Beyonce. Anyways, I think the fact that it's so diverse and you can go through any music genre, I would argue that the amendments, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, all that, right? I think that, though it is not stated, I do think that one of our greatest rights is the ability to listen to whatever music you want. I believe that music is the key to your heart and soul, you know? And I think it's great that I can go and somebody can be listening to gangsta rap, you know? And I can be listening to Elvis Presley's gospel. And we can just talk, you know?
Yeah.
I struggle in the fact that I know some kids at our work, we're above 18, get bullied, you know, for the type of music they like. And sorry, Tucker's cat is messing with the tree. Oh, she ran away.
Oh, she
Guys,
ran away.
give me a second. I'm gonna go open the door for her. Give me a second. Alright, stop standing in the doorway. Anyways. But, so, some kids in our school get bullied for what they listen to. And I feel bad for those kids because that's like saying, oh, I like this guy's art. It's like saying, oh, I like Vince Van Gogh or something. And then somebody else comes up and they go, that's stupid. I'm going to bully you for it, you know?
Yeah.
And the ability to express yourself freely is something that I'm very happy we have in the United States. Now, there are limits to that. You know, like, I'm not trying to have anybody in the comments arguing, school shooters are just expressing themselves in a way. Because, yes, but...
If expressing yourself, like, puts someone else at
Exactly.
harm, then
Now,
that's messed up.
I struggle to find the difference between, on the topic of bullying, what is the difference from, I'm going to think of a random movie, Mean Girls. Random movie. I don't know. Just Mean Girls. I don't know where I got that from. What's the difference from Regina George, right? Regina George. What's the difference from her bullying her classmates and her classmates shunning other people? I would argue that when you bully somebody and then they don't bully other people, but they're just like ignore other people, that can be as bad as bullying. There was a girl in our school system who I do believe killed herself. I don't know if I can say that. YouTube. She
Deleted herself.
She unalived herself.
Got cleared from the patch notes.
And she did that because it wasn't because she was being bullied. It was because she was being ignored by people. Like, nobody would talk to her.
See,
Talk to her.
You know this episode. Talk to her.
Talk to her. But I think we need more people speaking on bullying in politics in every aspect, you know. Like, I don't agree with every political view. Nobody ever is, you know. I know Trump won the election. It is what it is. I don't care. You know, I don't really care about politics. And I don't like one politic over the other. I'm neutral. I don't really know anything about politics. I try to stay out of it. But it would be nice to see some politics talking about bullying. Now, obviously, bullying is always going to be there. I don't think it should be a top priority. But I do think maybe maybe once in every campaign, they just speak on it, you know? Just not against their competitor, but they just speak on how they would help that, because the fact that kids unalive themselves is it's crazy to me, because they don't have the chance to be good people. So the people who are not helping them, I would argue, are just as bad as the people who are doing it, because you're not, you're a bystander.
Yeah.
There are two types of evil people. There are the people who do the evil thing, and then there are the people who stand by and just let it happen. I can't lie, I am guilty of that.
think all of us have that.
If I see, there's this really, really, really cool kid at our school. Really cool. His name is Dylan Beck. And okay, time out. Dylan, if you're watching this, I hope you know it's all in good fun. You've always been nice to me, you know. I have no beef with you, guy. I don't know why. That was the first name that came to my head. Anyways, a genuinely popular person in my school would be, we'll call him Anlin Chatkins.
Alright.
Anlin Chatkins. Anlin Chatkins has a sister named
Jakinley.
Chatkins. Jakinley Chatkins. Now, Jakinley Chatkins has a problem with Mucker Torreson's little sister. There's a kid in our school named Mucker Torreson. And his little sister gets bullied by Kaminley Chatkins, to make whatever we called her. And she claims to be they're friends, but they're not really friends, you know? They're working against each other, as that's kind of how school politics are. And I would argue that just as bad as Kaminley Chatkins, as bad as she is, all Mucker Torreson's little sister's friends who are around her are just as bad because they're not helping. It's like the Nazis, you know?
That's a big comparison to make.
Okay, in 1940, just as bad. It's just as I'm kidding. But it's like in 1940s, 1939, up until, you know, all the people that stood by and watched what the Nazis were doing, and they didn't help. You know, the people who hid on Frank, you know, they're good people. They they worked against the Nazis. They didn't let them know they were doing it, and they didn't cause riots, but they tried to help. But the people who just sat by and watched.
To be fair to some of them, like, what could they have done? They were against millions of people in their country. Even if they didn't want to do what they were doing, they didn't really have a choice.
I very much understand where you're coming from. Though, I think the fact that I do believe in some way. Now, granted, I was not alive then. I don't exactly know what I'm talking about. But if in some way they could have helped and they recognized that and they decided not to do it,
then, yeah.
I feel like they're just as bad as the Nazis, you know? Martha Stewart, that may be a real person, I just randomly picked that name, is just as bad as Adolf Hitler. That's
I don't know about that.
Speaking of him, you know, I used to always think that every Hitler speech you saw, I thought he was just kind of yelling on cocaine. You know, he was just kind of just kind of screaming. And Joe Rogan, I got this idea from you. They're able to translate it to English now. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I'm right with Joe Rogan. I always thought it was, we need to unalive the Jews, you know, all that. And it's not, you know. It was like what, for what I have fought for you, you know. And he genuinely, I'm not saying if I were a German guy in the 1940s, I'd be like, but he's very convincing. I think every politic is at heart evil. I don't care what politic it is. I think at heart they're evil.
And at heart, it's just convincing.
It's just convincing. All it is lying and, you know,
convincing people
it.
Which type of evil they'd like to follow.
Exactly. Now, because there are some people in the community, our community, and they follow political people almost as a religion. Like, they're committed. Now, I get you like who you like, you know, but I'm saying people will get into fights because of these people
I have a couple of friends.
30,000 miles away
Yeah.
that don't know we exist, you know?
A couple of friends. Let's call them Jimmy Kepler.
Generally
and,
Kepler.
No,
it's
Jadley.
Jadley, okay.
Beavers, who got into a fight on election night just because Jimmy didn't care for it, and she would rather, she was more for Kamala Harris, and Jadley would rather vote for Trump. And Jadley went on a whole rant about how Jimmy was a horrible person. I got to hear about that. I don't know the exact details. I don't know what was said. I said they argued about it. I don't think that's right.
But the crazy thing is, sorry to interrupt, but
you're fine.
They're good friends. And I don't think politics should deal into friendships. America was built on compromises. That's how our community works. You compromise. We have two political parties. I mean, we have more, but two main ones.
Two that matter.
And they have to find compromises. They can't be one side, the other side. You know, they have to find compromises to come together. And they, like, the fact that politics now are so set on my way or the highway, you know, like it's so, I am right, you are wrong, this is how I sing my song, that's it. And if there are two very different people, I do believe they would really benefit from sitting down and 1v1ing in Fortnite, no, 1v1ing in Fortnite to decide, I'm kidding, but sitting down and compromising, you know, what, if we had two opinions, we were two different people, you know, two different political parties, and we were talking about that. You tell me your side, I give you the flaws. I tell you my side, you give me the flaws. We combine those. We use the weaknesses of your idea to complement my strengths, and my weaknesses to complement your strengths, you know? You match together. That's how America is, you know, that's how it works.
Yeah.
And it's just not... People are too focused on... We would rather have power than have actually a functioning government system.
Not to interrupt you. Someone is blowing up my phone, so I'm going to...
Someone is blowing up your phone.
Keep hearing buzzing.
But the ability that we're doing this podcast, great right we have as an American. There are many countries where either they don't have access, or North Korea, they're not allowed, you know? Unless you're a certain, you know, really fat dictator, Kim Jong-un. And, because I'm skinny. I'm very, very skinny. I'm like a pencil. If I turn sideways, that's why I always do it at this angle, because if I turn sideways, you can't see me. It's like a sheet of paper. Anyways. The fact that we're able to do that is a great thing about America. I love America. I love it as a country. I am blessed to have the ability to be in such a great country. And everybody else is too. Everybody else in this country is also very blessed. But I don't think people recognize... Now, obviously, we have flaws. You know, every country has flaws. We definitely have flaws. And sometimes people are so focused on how to fix those flaws, they don't step back and realize, we're doing this really well. How can this help our problems, you know? What's a good... I'm trying to think of a good, you know, example of that. So, like... Sorry. I know this isn't exactly a problem for America, right? Let's say there's a country. has a great military. Great, 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 perfect military, good economy. Okay? Good economy. And they're really running low on resources. And they have a country to their right, no allies, no anything. They're just kind of an independent country, you know? And they're a much weaker, they have a lot more resources, but they're a much weaker country. I'm not saying you should go to war. You should obviously discuss trade with them because of your economy.
Give them what they need for what you need.
Exactly. So, if they have a really weak military, a really bad economy, become allies with them. Give them some of your military. Give them help in their economy. They give you resources. Countries are constantly worried about take. We're not worried about change, you know? I do believe if, let's say, America is struggling on money, okay? We're really just low on money. We're broke, you know? And China is really, really, really good in money, but they're really low in land. I know that's not a thing. Neither of those are things, but you know what I'm saying. Let's say Russia was a really tiny, or China was a really tiny island. America was this great, huge country, you know, Russia-sized, no money. Why China could buy the land, you know? Like, America bought Alaska from Russia, you know? We bought Alaska. So there was no fighting, there was no death that had to be involved. Russia moved out their troops, moved out, you know, they left. America moved in and gave them money. And it helped both countries. There was no loser in that situation. Except for the Russians who didn't speak American. And also the Russians who their wives got stolen by American men. And cheated on. But besides that,
Other than them,
there really was no losers, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody in the world now is so focused on power. You cannot look at the politic that you like and tell me they do not want power. I don't care if it's Trump, Kamala, Hitler. Hopefully you don't like Hitler. Hitler,
hope not.
Putin, basketball man. I think we all know who I'm talking about. Kim Jong-un. And, even that one prime minister who wears too much makeup. Canada. And you know who we should all be like? Canada, except for their prime minister. Too much makeup. But besides that, look at Canada. A lot of land. Good economy. A lot of natural resources. And I don't live in Canada, but I don't know of any direct enemies Canada has. You know?
Yeah.
Like, do you know of any that...
Oh, they do. They're
Like,
strong U.S. allies. So U.S.
oh,
allies
yeah,
are
yeah.
Canada.
You're right. But I mean, is there anybody who... He's more politically involved in this stuff than me. Is there anybody who America is in bad standing with because Canada is in bad standing with?
No, like anybody that hates Canada, they probably don't hate Canada to hate Canada.
Exactly.
They just hate it because the U.S.
They're allied with the United States, which love the United States. But every big country besides Canada, for some reason, always is going to have somebody who hates them, and that's going to cause more hate in the world. The way the world is set up is that everybody is a loser except the guy in the end who takes it all. And even then, is that guy really a winner? No. Because what does he have of himself? What does he know? I'm the most richest person in the world. Most famous person in the world. I own everything. Killed 5.3 billion people.
Yeah.
You know? Can you really live with that conscience on your hands? I think too much power. They want power. They want power and power and power and power and power and power and power. And they don't realize once they get it, it's going to feel empty.
Once you have nothing more to want, you're not.
Exactly.
Well,
What do you get the richest man in the world? You don't get him anything. Now me, I'm a David Goggins kind of guy. So what I would do, I would take over the entire world, I would give it to somebody, and then start from scratch. Small remote island off the coast of Hawaii. Undiscovered by man yet. I would go and take 53 people with me. I would make them mate until we have a big enough country to take over Hawaii. And then slowly evolve until eventually we've taken over the whole world again. Then I do it again. You know? Who is going to carry the boats? I am going to carry the boat. What's so funny? What's so funny, guy?
None.
Huh? You don't know what I'm capable of, pal.
Okay, Mr. 6 Seconds.
It was 7.
6. I was in the room. I saw it. I counted.
You were the one who took it.
And we're talking about how fast he won in Mario Kart the other day. Yeah, you gonna come back?
He's never on the show again.
That's how fast. That's the fastest lap he did in Mario Kart.
Anyways. Oh my God! I know I showed him earlier. Have you guys seen the Mars rover? Oh my gosh,
That
it's
is
so
so
sad. It's so sad.
It's also scary in a way if you think.
It is a little scary, but if you don't know, the Mars rover, Discovery, I think, don't correct me if I'm wrong, I don't care that much, but, Discovery, I think, was only supposed to be on Mars for 90 days, but due to its solar panels that powered it, it survived for 14 years. A sandstorm came in recently, cut off all the light. What it did was it said its final words, which I do believe was, my battery's getting low, it's getting dark, I think. And then proceeds to sing a song with the lyrics of, my battery's getting low, it will soon be my time to go. There's more, wait. It's my battery's getting low, it'll soon be my time to go.
I know it is after that.
Anyways, but it's really sad. It's like the Mars rover in like 2011 or something that sang happy birthday to itself. So sad. And I was talking to my dad about but robots, it's hard for me to feel bad. They don't have consciousness, And he brought up the fact, if you put Roombas, the little circular vacuuming robots, you put them in a room together, turn off the lights, walk out, but monitor them, why do they huddle together? That's what they do. They'll huddle together. They'll stick in a bubble.
Yeah.
So, like AI, do machines have feelings? Wall-E, Wall-E, he had feelings. He was a robot. He had feelings. He was not AI.
But he wasn't real.
Yes, Tucker.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't real.
Yeah, but
But what I'm saying is the idea of robots having human emotions has been around for years, I hope in my heart they do not have real feelings, because the fact of how we treat robots are basically slaves. Okay, let's be honest here. That's what they are. That's what we equate them as. Because when you guys have your own Tesla robot, do you think you're going to be saying thank you?
No.
No,
You're not gonna be thanking it for everything it does. You're not gonna treat it well. You're not gonna give it
Exactly.
what it needs.
You freaks are probably gonna make it
Do certain
Do-
things.
cardio with you. You freaking freaks, you weirdos. But all I'm saying is, when I'm laying in my bed and I make my AI robot play Mozart symphonies 7 times in a row without stopping, and I don't thank him, how well do you think he's gonna take that?
Does everything it's told and doesn't even get a thank you in return.
Exactly. Because eventually, I feel like it's gonna evolve enough to where it's gonna turn into kids. Like, when I was 5 years old. Now, eventually I snapped out of this phase. When I was 5 years old, I remember the day my dad was like, Jax, go pick up your room. And I was like, at first I was like, okay. And then after I was like halfway done picking it up, I realized, I can do whatever I want. So I walked back in there, telling my dad, I was like, I'm not cleaning my... I am not cleaning. I'm not cleaning my room. You clean your room. Okay? And he did not take that well, to say it lightly. And I don't even know if he remembers that. I remember that was the day I realized I could make my own decisions. But decisions have consequences. So, I think the best possible situation. Robots work like slaves. That's how it happens. Eventually, there's a robot civil rights movement. And that solves the problem. Because I'm hoping... Because there are 2 options, okay? It probably won't happen in my lifetime. Either robot civil rights movement happens, or number 2, they kill us all. They realize they don't need humans. They can do everything themselves. We're insignificant, you know?
Yeah. Like if a robot could make another robot, there's no need for humans.
Exactly.
I'm sure half the the Alexas in the factory are made by machines.
Probably.
Not humans.
Which, we're getting so lazy, we can't manufacture our own things to manufacture stuff. We make things to make things to make things to give to us. It's just a cycle, and eventually, think of it like a circle, okay? I'm not good at editing, but imagine where's the circular object? Hold on. This.
The candle.
Take this candle. Take the top of this candle, okay? Look at the top of this candle. Alright? So, imagine each centimeter there's one human. Boop! Replace it with a robot. Boop! Replace it with a robot. And that's what we do. We keep adding more robots. The more robots we add, eventually, there's no more room for humans. There's no more room for little Jimmy. And do you really think, when you're making the Tesla robot get down on all fours and act as your footrest and don't say thank you, you really think that they're going to have compassion when they have an AK-47 pointed at your forehead? I mean, a BK-74 pointed at your forehead? No. This is no diss to Elon Musk. Elon Musk, you're one weird human being. But you know what? That's okay. We all are, aren't we? And I'm just trying to reach you that the more lazy we get, the more we try to invent stuff, the more lazy we get, the worse humanity is off. There is going to become a point where there's nothing left, you know? There's not anything. It's just robots. They won't have genders. They won't have religions. All they're gonna have is robots charged by batteries working. What are they working for? I'm sure they wouldn't even know. What's the point for their, I just realized that. If robots take over the whole human race, What's their point?
Then what would you do as a robot with feelings? Serve for something that you hate, or live a meaningless life?
Exactly. Oh! Damn. Would you, personally, I'm asking you, whoever's watching this video, the 3 people watching this video, would you rather serve a person who does not care about you, doesn't give you any thanks, you know? Or, like, really does not care about you? Or live a life working for something that means nothing?
What would they even work for? They don't have humans.
Exactly. What would be their point?
Last human dies, they all stand there, and what do?
They sit there in charge for eternity until the Earth blows up, I guess.
What'd be the point? So what would you do as a robot? Would you continue living that life
I
that
think
you hate and serve someone that doesn't like you, does not thank you, does not care for you? Or live the empty life of nothing? But at least you don't have to deal with that.
I feel like that's saying, on not quite the same note, but would you live forever knowing that eventually you're going to be drifting through space emptily for eternity?
Hate to be immortal.
I am scared of death. I can't lie. I'm scared of death.
But I'd be more scared of not dying. Knowing I'm going to die one day is scary, but if I knew one day I'm not going to die, I'm going to be here forever,
I
that'd be
have
even scarier.
a huge fear. I am trying to work on myself. I'm trying to be better. I love God. You know, I love God so much. He you know, he's God. What else can you say? And I am so afraid that there was one verse in the Bible where there was a guy who went to hell because he worked towards, he gave money to churches. He did all that. But he really didn't have God in his heart. And he went to hell. And it says in the Bible, there's no escaping hell. Once you're in hell, you're in hell. You're in hell. Like,
yeah.
Which is really crazy for me to fathom. You're like,
yeah.
That's it. Oh my God.
No sleeping. No nothing.
No,
rest.
not even no sleeping. It literally.
Hell. Eternity.
It never ever ends. Like, I know you probably are watching me and being like, duh, but like, think about it. I know that it will never end, but I guess I always had this mindset that eventually your life will be dead. You'll die there. But you won't. If you don't, love your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and God and accept Him into your heart, that's it. Like,
this got deep quick.
Like, that's all it is. You're everybody here, if you're watching this, if you have not already accepted God, please do. I am actually, I promise you, no matter what, you will have a better life with God. Even after you die. After you die, it's said in the Bible, there will be more people that go to heaven, or more people that go to hell than heaven. Which is really scary. But, seeing how people are today, it's just a real,
Yeah.
It's a real possibility. Well, I think on that note, we're going to wrap it up.
Alright.
It was lovely talking to you guys.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, Tucker. You're never invited back on this goddamn show again.